What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Other Side of the Firewall, where we highlight the latest and greatest of cybersecurity news, as well as those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who've made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
And LeVon Maynard.
What up?
What is the deal? So, if you still tuning in, so this week's all about seems to be cybercrime and how the Department of Justice is fighting it. Yesterday, we discussed what the DOJ was doing to take down a specific website that was selling credentials, along with international partners. And then today, we will discuss some pretty good FBI tactics. So, without further ado, I'll give it to you, Shannon.
All right. So this article actually comes from the New York Post, and it's written by Samuel Chamberlain, and it's titled "FBI Encrypted Phone App Leads to Hundreds of Global Underworld Arrests." And like when I read this, I laughed a little bit because I was like, yeah, this is exactly how this would happen. So what ended up happening was law enforcement officers came up with this app, right? They actually it was actually in Australia, New Zealand. They had this operation. It was Operation Trojan Shield, and they created this app called ANOM. ANOM. I hope I said that right. ANOM, whatever it may be. So what they did was they ended up handing out these phones, and then they started to sell them on the black market. These phones that had this app on it that they were telling people that they could use to communicate to do their dirt. Well, the whole time, you know, the FBI and you got your Australian authorities and your New Zealand authorities. It was 18 different countries that actually made police raids, the UK, Germany, Netherlands, Sweden. So they sat back and let these people do dirt with this app from these phones that were handed out to them, right? And it's one of those things where when people see something that they think is good, like they pass it on to everybody else, right? So this criminal tells this criminal, hey man, you got to get one of these phones, got this ANOM app on it, you know what I mean? Like download this, you know what I mean? Nobody can see it, it's this, that, and the third. And all the time is law enforcement looking at what they're doing, right? So, but hey, this is what happens, right? Like you start doing that dirt, you know what I mean? I mean, right. There's kind of no full. I mean, people will tell you there are apps that are secure out there, right? Like you got your Signal and some of this other stuff that's out there. They're like, oh, it's 100%, you know, safe for you to use. The government can't look at it, this, that, and the third. Right. But somebody has that information. Just know somebody has it. Okay. So it's just a matter of, you know, the Justice Department probably coming down, you know, or a judge saying, yeah, you can go and take this information, or telling a company that they have to give it up. It's just a matter of time before that does happen. But yeah, they some of the stuff that they highlight in the article though. So Australian Federal Police Commissioner Reece Kershaw told reporters that the app helped thwart 21 murder plots, including one that would have targeted a family of 5. But again, like in all of these countries where these raids went down, these it was for murder plots, it was for drugs. What else did they have in here? They went through and found 25 million encrypted messages in real time that they were looking at as this stuff was going through. So like they were just building their case as all this stuff went up. You know what I mean? All this stuff happened. And the thing about this that was kind of funny that I read in here, right? So the idea for them to do this, it was American and Australian law enforcement officers, and they made this happen after drinking a couple of beers. So like this is back in 2018. They were just getting together, drinking some beers, and were like, you know what? We should like get a phone and put an app on it that we could track and just start handing it out to criminals. You know what I mean? And it was just like, that is a great idea. You know what I mean? And obviously it was, right? Because like you had people that were buying these phones and using this app, and they went out there after monitoring for a while and you know, started doing what they need to do. And like, hey, you want to do crime, this is kind of the consequence of it, right? This kind of reminds me of you remember they used to do those fake people used to win those fake prizes and show up at the warrants, and they would show up at those places and they get arrested, you know, thinking they want a cruise or something. They walk through the door, police arrest them. You know, it's kind of what you get when you do stuff like this. But LeVon, what's your thoughts on this, man?
Yeah, as you were saying that made me think about was it Chris Hansen when they catch a predator?
He's like, I call you Chris Handsome.
So I got something for you right over here. Come on in. Yeah, but this is definitely like a good thing. It's like I'm pretty impressed that they went through this effort to catch these underground criminal rings. Um, it's kind of makes you also think about like the line from Jurassic Park, like clever girl, clever girl, whatever. Because they're doing this kind of stuff to catch people slipping up, and these criminals get comfortable with an application that they think is like an encrypted app. They can send their messages on the web there or whatever on the interface, and just get their get everything planned out, get the drug deals, get their weapon exchanges, whatever they're doing. But now that these law enforcement groups have figured them out and put something in place to help capture them, and they're able to go around and trying to ring them up a little bit. They probably put their like names and addresses in these things, thinking that it's like all encrypted and nothing's going to get out to the public. But yeah, I mean, generally speaking, I mean, just like you were saying earlier, I think you said it, Ryan, but outside of this being, this is a good thing, but obviously for us as consumers using applications and products like this, you guys always got to be aware that, not everything you put out there is going to be, hidden. Somebody's going to have access to it. Somebody's going to be able to look at it if they need to. So you got to be, smart about it. But I'm glad that these hackers or these criminals were not smart, and that they were hemmed up for their abuse and misuse and all the criminal activities. But I hope that these kind of things continue to happen, and maybe even some of these, like, I don't know, maybe somehow they can make it into some sort of application that these ransomware groups can start chomping on, and then also we can wrangle up some of these ransomware groups that have been kind of terrorizing the U.S. as of last few years. But what you got on this, Ryan? What you think?
Yeah, it is pretty funny, and it's just clever, right? It's just like, okay, here's a burner phone with an app that no one's going to catch you. So I guess they said it was the lead key, like this. So they said, remember who played key role as a fugitive who's actually on the run right now for drug trafficking. Like he was like, oh, like I guess he got it in the pipeline. Like maybe he hooked up a couple friends and it just ballooned from there, right? Word of mouth. And now he's on the run. They're like, nah, come turn yourself in.
Right.
It may be safer for him, right? Because like the thing is, it's not just that he's running from the police, because the people that he gave this to, like, they're upset too, right? Their friends and family are probably looking for him too. So it's like,
right,
you can come get some witness protection. You can stay out there.
Right.
Yeah, and they said people were getting so comfortable with it. They weren't even talking in shorthand anymore. They were openly talking about murder. Like, hey, I'm about to kill these 5 people. You're like, yo, like you just don't think
crazy.
you're ever gonna get caught. Because what if somebody had what if one of your criminal friends had gotten arrested and got his phone taken? What if it was a legit app? You just talk openly about murder. Like people just out here wild.
Yeah.
And what I think is even funnier is that they could do this again. Because who's going to read the New York Post and remember this? A couple of years from now.
Right.
Like, so there's new criminals every day. So it's going to be a brand new group of people like, hey, you got that app?
Right.
We can openly talk about murder and drugs.
Yeah. Really.
So yeah, and then like you said, LeVon, like it just makes you think about even legit applications. Like someone's able to probably decipher, read, and then use the information against you potentially in the future. So no one should feel safe, like especially not criminals talking about crime openly. But don't say or do or take pictures of anything you don't want to come back to haunt you years from now, because nothing is secure forever. Like it might be secure right now, but it's not secure forever. So just be cautious, be careful out there. But yeah, when I saw this article, I was like, that's pretty hilarious. Like it makes me think of like Grand Theft Auto or something. Like
right.
Or like you said, like when I was a kid, they used to have those warrant busts where people would come in and be like, oh, I won the lotto. Like, no, you won the lotto, right?
Right.
Going to jail now.
Right.
So
you got 5 to 10.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. But yeah, it was called ANOM. So if you got that app, like everything you said can and will be used against you in the court of law. So you might want to be careful.
Right.
Well, with that being said, make sure you tune in to us for the rest of the week as we discuss more of these cyber crimes, more about what the Department of Justice is doing through like the FBI and so on and so forth. We're seeing a lot more international collaboration. So like this one was FBI in collaboration with the Australian and New Zealand counterparts who did this sting. So they're doing a lot more work. They're trying to get criminals. They're trying to match might for might when it comes to cyber crime. So that's awesome. Hopefully they keep it up. And then later on in the week, so not Wednesday, because Wednesday's Ask SSP. Make sure you shoot us your questions. Hit me up, and I'll give you the contact info at the end. But we'll also be talking about the Colonial Pipeline and how the Department of Justice was able to intercede on their behalf, as well as JBS, which is a Brazilian company that is big into poultry, beef, things that like food, basically, and how they got caught up in also a ransomware scam. So make sure you tune in. Make sure you hit that like, share, subscribe buttons, that bell, whatever it takes, so where you get updated, because we're getting close to real time. Like obviously we record prior to some of the stuff happening. So like literally, I want to say it was the Colonial Pipeline money being recovered. We had just recorded, so we had to wait a whole week to talk about it. But it is what it is. Make sure you stay tuned to us. Hit us up on the website, www.theothersideofthefirewall.com, excuse me. As well as you can hit me up personally at RyRy Security Guy. That's RY Security Guy on Clubhouse, LinkedIn, Twitter, IG, and TikTok. And you, LeVon?
Hit me up on the Twitters at LeVon Maynard.
There it is. So stay safe, stay secure.
Take care.